So let's get to Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, in my opinion, we're going to find out a lot about who he really truly is. I think that I kind of already know sort of who Kyrie is. Obviously, I don't know him, but, you know, I've watched him play and whatnot. You've watched him play. You get the point. But, you know, see, Kyrie Irving, he kind of gets a lot of flack from the media. You know, they talk about he left Cleveland prematurely. LeBron James kind of made Kyrie Irving, and to a certain degree, I think that LeBron James definitely helped, you know, Kyrie Irving kind of take the next step as a player. He kind of really showed him how to win. But I do think that if LeBron did not get to Cleveland, we would still be seeing Kyrie Irving eventually, you know, get to averaging 27 points per game on his own and whatnot. Just because, you know, in Cleveland, before LeBron got there, he just couldn't stay healthy. When Kyrie Irving's healthy, he's one of the best point guards in all of basketball, definitely. And, you know, I think that I don't really have a problem with Kyrie Irving wanting to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers just because, you know, he kind of grew tired with, you know, having to have the team give LeBron James all the credit. And listen, he's a great player, and he's a very talented player to where he should be trying to lead a team on his own. And there was also some rumbles about maybe they tried to trade him for CP3. That didn't go so well. We obviously know about the Boston Celtics days. You know, he had some injuries, obviously. I don't think that he ever really got great chemistry with those guys. There was a lot of egos on that team, from Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, you know, trying to work his way back. There was a lot of factors that really contributed to Boston underachieving with Kyrie Irving. That wasn't all on Kyrie, in my opinion. And also, people want to talk about, oh, the Celtics were so good without Kyrie Irving, but they failed to realize and they failed to mention that when Kemba Walker got hurt last year, their record was pretty good. And no one talks about that. So, you know, no one talks about that. So I think that Kyrie Irving, look, he's obviously going to have to answer some questions, you know. Can he stay healthy? He's got to do that, okay? You know, can he be that leader? You know, can he be a willing distributor, you know, because sometimes he's not the most willing passer, you know. Will he be willing to take on some of the best point guards on defense? We saw what he did in the NBA Finals to Steph Curry. You know, he's going to need to do that more consistently, you know. So Kyrie Irving is going to have to answer a lot of questions, in my opinion. I think that definitely he's the perfect number two. You know, I don't want Kyrie Irving probably leading my team to a championship, but we saw when LeBron James was with him, he was the perfect closer. He was the perfect number two, and Kevin Durant is as close to, if not just as good as one LeBron James. So I think Kyrie Irving is going to definitely surprise a lot of people. I think that he's slightly become, you know, sort of underrated over the years. You know, what are your expectations for Kyrie Irving with Kevin Durant in Brooklyn going forward? And kind of what are some of the questions that you have, you know, about him?
I think a lot of people think it's just cool to hate on Kyrie now because of the media hating on Kyrie, where a lot of his past teammates have never came out and said, oh yeah, he's an awful teammate, I don't want to play with him. Besides maybe Terry Rozier saying that he wanted to get more playing time. But nobody's came out and said, oh yeah, I don't like Kyrie as a teammate. But my expectations for him this year are to be Kyrie Irving. He needs to stay healthy. I think he will really be the X factor to this team, because if he comes out as Kyrie, I feel like I know what I'm going to get out of KD. But if Kyrie's Kyrie every single day and every single night, the Nets are, if not the best team in the NBA. So with that being said, I think Kyrie, he's going to have to answer a lot of questions. He's going to have to stay healthy. It's a lot of ifs when it comes to Kyrie, but also, you know, when he's healthy, you know what you're going to get from him. You know you're going to get at least 20 and 5 in some type of way. You know he's going to be a great finisher. You know that a lot of people are going to focus on him and try to stop him. And like I said earlier, that's going to be the time where he has to be a willing passer and pass it out to guys like Joe Harris and guys like Karis LeVert, and let these guys help him. And I think that if he does that, this team, the ceiling is high. Ceiling is very high for this team.
I do agree. And I think that Kevin Durant is definitely a good teammate to kind of pair with Kyrie Irving, because Kevin Durant, he can get you 30 points on like 12 shots. You know, he doesn't need the ball consistently in his hands. You know, he's a very good off-ball player. And when he has the ball in his hands, we know what he can do. He can drop 40 on your head any night, you know. So I think that it's definitely a good pairing between Kyrie and Kevin Durant. They're definitely players that, you know, have expressed that they want to play with each other. I think they're definitely hungry to really prove people wrong. And yeah, I think that's definitely going to be a great pairing in Brooklyn. One thing we know about Kyrie Irving, obviously it's a big step to get to the NBA Finals and whatnot, but we saw him back in 2016 versus Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. He was able to hit the biggest shot in the biggest moment, and we know what Kevin Durant can do in the NBA Finals, hitting back-to-back three-pointers in LeBron James and J.R. Smith's face. Back in the 2017 finals and the 2018 finals. Yes, that's correct. These guys can close the deal when need be. And obviously you got guys like Joe Harris, you got Karis LeVert, you got a very good deep bench as well. So we got some cooking, definitely. No doubt about it. And I definitely think that Kyrie Irving will play pretty well in Brooklyn, no doubt about it. He's going to have to, because, hey, if you can't make it work with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, that's on you.
He's going to have to find somewhere else because that's going to be tough. He's going to have to make it work out with KD because teams are going to be like, oh, you can't make it work with Kevin Durant, so who can you make it work with? Then make it work with LeBron James. Then make it work with that Celtics squad. And that's going to bring up even more questions about him as not only a player, but as him as a person as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.